Hello, hello, everyone. Here we are with our last race of this NissanTV Speedrun Marathon of the day, day two, Zelda 2 randomizer race between Homewrecker and VixRyder. Vix is not a fan of Nerf boots from his file name. So these flags are going to be tons of fun, really interesting. These are random percent flags, so things might be vanilla and they might not be. And we're just going to have to wait and see what's what. It's going to be great. It's going to be good times. Um, let's see. Wait for them to get started. I know a few things about the seed just from checking it out beforehand, but we'll wait for them to get started before we before I let everyone in on that. They should be starting here anytime. Here we go. Okay, so number of lives you start with are randomized. They start with 2. They also start with candle, glove, boots, and the cross. And let's see. Okay, so these are not nerfed boots, which means they can walk on all the water, which is really nice because this is an island biomes west, which means there's going to be a lot of water and a lot of bridges, a lot of separation. Home is already dipping into a palace. Oh, they both are. Okay, this is palace 2. Okay, yeah, that's a smart move. Neither one of them stayed. They shouldn't be in there yet. There's not a whole lot of logical implications in this game, but the game does not expect you to be in palaces until you have the magical key that can open any locked door or the fairy spell to fly through the doors. Vix is in an item cave. This is what's known as Magic Container Cave in the vanilla game, Western Magic Container Cave. And we've got a pea bag. So we don't have random overworld or vanilla overworld items. Vix got that's a nice pea bag. Vix is gonna get some early levels here. That's nice for him. Home is in the town of Saria, where you find the mirror under the table and you get a spell. And this is life spell. We might have vanilla spells today. That could just be a one-off. We're gonna have to wait. They didn't start with any spells, so we're gonna have to wait until we see another town to be sure. Vix has found Palace 1. And he is going to dip in here really quickly and see what's what. And Home is right on his tail. So we've got not vanilla enemies in palaces. We've got reconstructed palaces, which means there are a bunch of community rooms that were put into version 4 of the randomizer. So those are all included, and that's a forced flag. That's not a 50-50. Okay, Home has found another item cave. This is Heart Container Cave. Oh, Water Town of Saria. That means that the hints that tell us what spells are in the towns are not on. And helpful hints from the townspeople are not on. That's a small key. That's just a junk item there in Heart Container Cave for Homewrecker. I mean, not a total junk item since they don't have Fairy or the magical key yet, but you know, that doesn't put any palaces in logic. Random small keys, either in enemy drop pools or in item locations like that, don't say, hey, go into the palace. Okay, Vix picking up the life spell in Saria as well, while Home has found the grass tile, or some of us call it Stonehenge in the Z2R community. That had a magic container, which is good. Once they find the Eastern Continent, there is a chance that magic container requirements will be on to get spelled in the towns there, so the more magic they can find here, the better off they might be. They also might need up to 7 to get into Granny's basement in New Kasuto, and that's also a town in the east. Okay, Vix is gonna take a pass-through cave rather than walk across water. Home went into Mito, which was the town back there that we just saw, and then said no thank you, but he did find another item cave, medicine cave. So he's in here, farming bagos that are worth no points. Trying not to get killed. Vix has found Trophy Cave, which is another item cave. It's the only item cave where you enter from the right side of the screen. And it is garbage. I mean, not garbage. Levels are good early on, but it's a pee bag. It's not a progression item. Which is not surprising given everything they started with. So Vix has found these early pee bags in caves that Home has not found yet. It's kind of really good for his early levels. As you can see, Home is pretty squishy on Attack 1, Magic 1, Life 2. And with only 2 lives, it's going to help Vix out a lot to have 3-2-3 this early on. Okay, Vix just found the front. That was the front of Jump Cave, which is a connector. And, you know, in an island biome like this with boots, you don't really need it. Oh, the magic key. The magic key for Homewrecker in Medicine Cave. This is a good find. This puts palaces in logic. So the game, you know, is telling Homewrecker, hey, you can go in now and find progression items and not be locked by key doors in palaces. That opens any key door. And they started with the glove, so they don't have to worry about glove box. So I'm going to go ahead and say we have vanilla spells today, Shield and Life, both in their vanilla locations. Which means if magic container requirements are on, they'll need all 8 of them for Thunder. They might need Thunder, they might not. Thunderbird may not be required, we won't know until we get into GP. Vix has found our last overworld item location on the west. This is Peabag Cave. And let's see what it's got. Home is exploring this lovely island biome. Oh, it's the child. That is a fetch quest item for a town in the east, Darunia. They will need that for Reflect, since spells are vanilla, and this is a 6-gem seed. They need Reflect to beat the boss in Palace 4, so that is a hard required child. Kinda lucky they didn't have to go dig him out of the palace. Okay. Home's about to get a big fat pee bag here, which will be good for him. He can stop being quite so squishy. Okay, Vix found what is either Palace 3 or 6. I am gonna guess it's Palace 3 since we saw 1 and 2 already. I think palaces have not swapped continents in these flags, so I'm thinking the palaces are on their vanilla continents, which means 1, 2, and 3 are going to be in the west, 4 will be on Maze Island, and 5, 6, and Great Palace will be in the east. Okay, so Home getting some levels. Vix is gonna go in here, because this Mito is fairy spell, so he wants the hint. There's no hints. You don't get any hints, you just have to find the medicine. So no hints are on, and there's 3 different ways you can get hints in this game. You can get a hint from the sign in the front of the town to tell you what the spell is. You can get a hint from a non-moving NPC, and there are 9 opportunities for that. They're randomized. Or you can get a hint for fetch quest items. All of those have rolled vanilla, which means you don't get any hints. Okay, Vix is going to grab this magic container. They're kind of repeating what the other has done. It looks like they just diverged at start and started exploring the island biome in opposite directions. So Vix grabbing that magic container while Home was grabbing the pee bag and picked up the small key for some reason, even though he has the magic key. Vix is about to grab the, or no, not the magic key from here. Vix is going to get, I think, another pee bag from this, maybe? Homewrecker says no to the passer. Oh, that's right, the junk small key. So Vix is going to be on, you know, he's looking for Medicine Cave, and that magic key to get him into palaces. Homewrecker is in Peabag Cave now. And he's gonna pick up the child. Vix is gonna head into Palace 1. He didn't find Medicine Cave. He doesn't have the magic key. He's gonna go in anyways and hope that there aren't a bunch of key doors, and maybe hope that the bosses are dropping keys. So in the vanilla game, the bosses always drop a small key, so you can open the door behind them. In the randomizer, in these flags, there is forced randomization of boss items. So yeah, we're gonna switch audio. Okay. So Palace 1 is the shortest palace in the game. Home's gonna pick up the shield spell here, which cuts the damage that you take by half. This is a really nice quality of life spell with a 2 life start. So this will make it easier for these runners in palaces, and especially in GP and Great Palace, to not take as much damage. Since they don't have a ton of starting lives, and I haven't seen a 1-up yet in the drop pool, they could be in the... There's 2 drop pools for small and large enemies for items. We've seen keys, and we've seen jars. Haven't seen any 1-ups, so there may or may not be 1-ups. Home's about to get the bad news that there's no hints anywhere. He knows this is jump because we have vanilla spells. Vix is saying no to P1. He really needs to find Medicine Cave before he starts dipping these palaces. Yep, Home gets the bad news. No help for you today, sir. Just find things. Just go where the items are. Oh, thank you for the gift sub. Okay, Homewrecker has found the bridge to the east. And we're going to see right now whether or not magic container requirements are on for this seed. Magic container requirements are on, and Home is so happy he's stabbing the old man in the face. Vix is about to also get the bad news. So, this means they're going to need 5 magic jars to get the spell out of Nibiru, which is fire or dash. They're going to need 6 to get Reflect out of Jarunia, 7 to get Spell out of New Kasuto, and 8 to get Thunder. So, yeah, they both seem pretty happy about this. They both do have enough, at least, to get the spell here out of Nibiru, so we have to give this lady some water. She lives, 30 feet from the fountain. But she can't leave because her drunk uncle is locked in the basement, and she can't let him out, so you have to get water for her. And it's dash today and not fire, so instead of the fire spell, they can cast dash and go twice as fast. Home does not seem maybe super happy about this. He's not really a dash user so much, except for right now to get out of these towns. Vix, I think, is a little more comfortable with it. It can be really helpful in certain situations and really dangerous in others. These are some fun lava encounters that Home is in right here. He has no fairy spell yet, so, getting booped by the Moa, the flying eyeball of doom. Vix is gonna make it to Water Tile to pick up a flute without taking an encounter on the lava, which is probably a better choice. Home's just, getting wrecked over here. He's gonna up an A, back to start. Oh, and Vix picked up that flute, and immediately we see a 3-eyed rock. So that flute may be required. There might be a palace under there. We don't know. It's a 50-50 flag. There could be a palace. There could be some other thing under there. This is an item cave for Vix. Risen P-Bag Cave. Let's see what we've got. If we've got an item or... Okay, so we've got a 1-up. That's not a terrible thing, since we only start with 2 lives, and... Life spell heals for 1 bar. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. Thanks a lot. We started with life, and it heals... Or no, we didn't start with life, but we got it very early, and it only heals for 1. Okay, Holmes made it back to the east. he managed to make it here to the water tile to get his flute without getting bodied this time in encounters. And Vic's taking a death there, but he did pick up that one up in Risen Teabag Cave, so it's kind of a wash. Home recognizing this pass through and saying, nope, not yet. Finds a desert tile, but not the desert tile with a potential progression item on it. Let's see if Vix is going to check out whether or not there's a palace under this three-eyed rock. I don't think he's going to do that yet. Okay, yep, he's going to, we're going to see. Was the flute required? Nope, it was not. Just an encounter. So, Vix has found Palace 6 there in the lava. He's not gonna go in there just yet. He's gonna explore a little bit more. He might be looking for. Okay, Home grabbing that one up too out of Risen Teabag Cave. I think Vix might be looking for the desert tile, or potentially the other overworld item cave in the east, which is conversely Sunken Teabag Cave. See if he can get off the, okay, he can get off the screen. This is also not the progression item desert tile. That looks like the entrance to Valley of Death, which there's, since palaces are on their vanilla continents, there is a very high, a higher chance, like a 62% chance, I think, that GP Grand Palace will be in its vanilla location, which is in the Valley of Death. These lava encounters are brutal. Okay, Home's gonna check the flute as well. Vix is up in aid back to start. Is currently exploring. Does not have the raft, so okay, Vix has finally found Medicine Cave. This is good for him. He can go get this magical key, the any key, to open all the doors. And I expect we'll see him start to clear out palaces here. And I think Home has determined that that's probably what he needs to be doing as well, is let's clear some palaces now that we've got keys. We know we need magic containers. Home, where are you going? What are you doing? Yeah, it does look like Vix is maybe trying to get his bearings. Sometimes in these island biomes, it's pretty easy to get turned around, especially when you're just using boots to kind of walk wherever. Okay, Vix is back into Palace 1 here, this time with a key. With the key. So he already has the glove. We started with the glove, so he can break all the blocks, he can open all the doors. And this should be a relatively short, like, Palace 1 is the shortest palace. I think it doesn't really ever have more than 20 rooms, and that's a long Palace 1, so this should be pretty quick for Vix. Not necessarily painless, depending on the enemy set. And this one doesn't look terrible. Not great either, but not terrible. Home is still, you know, walking on the water instead of walking into the palaces. Not quite sure what he's looking for. Maybe he was also looking for P1. He didn't want to, yeah, maybe. Okay. So, after much exploration, Homewrecker's gonna go into P1 just as Vix is finding the boss. Horsehead is our boss here in Palace 1. Horsehead a little beefy on attack 3, at least. He was a little overpowered. Once we get past the first bar, it's pretty easy, but it looks like his defense level rolled up because it definitely took more than just 1 or 2 hits to get that first bar off. And bosses are dropping keys, and that's pretty nice because, I mean, it doesn't matter now that they have the magic key, but you know, if they hadn't found that magic key early, that would have been real nice for them. They can at least beat the bosses in the dungeons. Home getting bodied by these Bagos, these flying fish bone heads. So he's gonna shield up. This is one game where Homewrecker actually enjoys having a spell called Shield. Oh, this room. So Vix is in this vanilla room, this vanilla Palace 2 room, which is extremely difficult to do from this end. He's not even gonna try it again. He says no thank you. I don't blame him. That's really hard to do without Jump or Fairy. He does have Dash though, and you know, Dash sometimes can make you jump a little bit higher when you run. But getting to that second platform in that room can be interesting. So I think what Vix is going to do right now is place his gem and hope that he doesn't have to come back here for a magic container. Or maybe if he can't find a magic container later, if he's missing one, he can come back here when he has the jump spell. Okay, Home's gonna fight Horsehead here as well. Should be, yeah, a pretty easy fight once you get that first bar gone. Horsehead's got kind of a funny hitbox. Like, you have to hit him kind of in the ears. You know, NES games, enemies traditionally have very well-programmed hitboxes, as we all know. Vix is gonna go into P2 here. Doing palaces in order. And Home not even looking for the item. He's just gonna place the gem. And okay, so the palaces do not continue past the boss. That's another flag that could have been on, but we know now that it's not. And I'm not sure that Vix checked that flag. He walked it back after Horsehead. So see if Home can do that because that platform room was our only other path in Palace 1. Dead end for Vix. He might be looking for P bags. Yeah, he doesn't need keys. So we'll see if Home can get that platform room without Fairy or Jump. That was our only path in Palace 1, so that's definitely the way to the item. Home, please. Home taking a lava bath. Vix fighting a bunch of these nasty blue iron knuckles in Palace 2. They're pretty beefy. On Attack 3 is typically not good, and these guys didn't start with either stab check. No up stab, no down stab. So, you know, they need either Fairy or Jump to get either of those. Home trying to get out of this room in Palace 1 without getting murdered by Magos. Vix is going to attempt this room again. Yeah, these iron knuckles, these blue iron knuckles are extremely aggressive and taking a lot of life. One bar per bullet there. That's no fun. Okay, Vix is gonna start. He's gonna run it back, restart this palace. I think maybe. Okay, he's gonna try the dash spell and see if, yeah, you can't jump over that, buddy. Okay, but he is just gonna body his way through. And I approve of this strat. Just, you know, take a hit to the face and use those iframes to run through. Home is having a really hard time with this room. Yeah, I think he was unsure whether or not he was gonna go back in there. I think he's gonna make at least one more attempt. He's probably going to be real happy when he sees that platform room that is not super easy. Vic's getting booped by Bago right into the lava. And good thing they started with glove, otherwise he would be glove locked out of here. Uh-oh. Vix didn't turn his ads off. Naughty, naughty Vix. That's okay. We'll see what Homewrecker's up to in Palace 1. He's had it with that room, and that's probably fine because, you know, he was going to come to that platform room eventually that, you know, is extremely difficult without dash or without jumper fairy. Okay, Home's also into P2. Let's see what kind of progress he makes in here. So he's also going to start to the left. Okay, Home going for the more traditional fighting method instead of the jump stab on this guy. And I think he's not even trying to beat him. I think he's just trying to push him back to the... get him back far enough and you can walk right through him. Home did not shield though, and he gets taken down in 2 hits. Okay, he's gonna try the right path. Okay, okay, that's one way to get past him. And he's gonna see the dead end. He's gonna check it. He is maybe hoping for a P bag. Home, stop picking up keys, my dude. Okay, so let's see if Home uses that strat again over to the left. Okay, Vix is back. He has made some kind of progress in Palace 2. There's nowhere else to go, Home, my dude. Okay, so Home's gonna use this same strat. This is really smart. This is, instead of fighting the Iron Knuckle, let's just walk by him. Yeah, screw that guy. That's an excellent strat. Just break the block and jump up there. Okay, Vix has found a long hallway. Since we missed a chunk of Vix's stream, I'm not sure exactly the path he took to get where he's at, so maybe we'll see from Homewrecker. Okay, Home... These two have both played enough of this game to know that rooms like this almost always have some kind of flying enemy, whether it's Bagos or the Dots or Rawhead. Like, you know, out of all the flying enemies they could have in here, Bagos are probably the best option because they're at least predictable. Okay, I think we just saw Vix. So Vix must have gone left first in that room that Home was just in, because he came back and took the elevator, I think. Oh, those Magos are beefy. That hurt. Vix says no more. No more of this. So I guess maybe we have a downstabbless Rebanak fight. I don't think they're ever gonna let me roll a seed for them again. This is brutal. Like, this is actually brutal. Yeah, Vix is gonna go into P3. He might not be super happy about it. The boss in this palace is beatable without downstab, but downstab definitely makes it much easier. Okay, we've immediately got Rawheads here, which are kind of gross. If you kill them, they go away for a little bit, TM. Okay, Home's still toughing it out in this P2. He has not given up yet. So, if we didn't know that palaces were on vanilla continents, another way to tell the Palace 3 and 6, since they look identical from the front, is those windows that we just saw in Vix's previous screen. Those square windows are indicative of Palace 3. And Palace 6, fittingly, has jail bars on the windows because, you know, it's awful. Okay, Home has found his way to Helmet Head. So he's going to be a gem up here on Vix, if he can do this fight without dying. Helmet Head can be he can be tough sometimes because they've got the 2 helmets that shoot dots at you from above. Home did not shield up because he has no magic, but that was a really nice fight. That was a really nice fight. He takes down Helmet Head. Let's see if he's gonna... He's not gonna place the gem right away. Vix has found the item room in P3. It's a P bag. My guess is he goes for it because I think he would not mind either life or attack levels here. And then he's gonna take this drop. And this is dropping it on itself, so that's just a loop. Home is going to... I think we've seen this, yeah. Where he came from, so he's gonna go back and get killed by a Mago. Vic's doing a nice job on those crumble bridges there. Okay, Home finding another... This is another dead end. These outdoor rooms are pretty much always dead ends, the ones that start like this, unless there is a mini boss fight, then they are item rooms. Okay, Vic's shielding, not really enough to get him through that Doom Knocker. I think he forgets that he can jump and dash. If he used dash, he would be able to get up on those higher platforms. But instead, I think he's going to do what he tried to do with the Iron Knuckle and either push this guy over to the far side of the screen or just, you know, use iframes, yeah, just to kind of get on that platform. Home taking a hit from Hammer Bro there. Vic's looking for the 50-50 red jar, red iron knuckle in that statue. Gets nothing. Get wrecked. Home wants his 1 bar of life back. Hey, it's a magic container in P2. Vix is gonna need that. He's gonna need to go back for it. Okay, now Home's gotta walk it back and place his gem, since he did not place his gem immediately after beating Horsehead or Helmet Head. Oh, this room. If Vix didn't have a glove, he would not have been able to... well, he might have been able to progress here if he's good enough with dash. This room requires either the fairy spell or a glove, and Vix is having a time with some of the combat here. It's a little brutal. I wouldn't let me roll seeds for them again. I'm probably going to hear about this later. Vic's walking right into the encounter of that bridge. Okay, he's gonna go back to the east and maybe try his luck over here. Meanwhile, Home has placed his 2nd gem. He's going to get attack 4. Okay, so Vix is either going into P6 or he's just here to farm Iron Knuckles. I'm not sure which. He's okay, he's going into P6. Let's see what Homewrecker does here. See if he goes back to the east or if he goes for Palace 3 and the down-stablished Rebanak fight. You know, we need jump or fairy. Well, we need jump to get downstab. Well, we need jump or fairy to get downstab and upstab. We don't have any item hints, so we don't know where the fetch quest items are. We found the child. Vic's picking up the heart container item in P6, which honestly, the way that life has been the life levels have been rolling, he is maybe not mad about that. Either life, like Link's defense level, either rolled down or enemy attack levels rolled up, because this seed has just kind of been pummeling these guys. Vix might be looking... yeah, he's gonna skip that Iron Knuckle. That's good room recognition there. Knowing there's a few rooms a couple versions of that room that look like that, and they don't all have elevators when you break those blocks. Once again, unsure what Homewrecker is looking for. He has possibly lost Palace 3. Okay. I'm taking an encounter there. Vix can't kill these Wizrobes because you need Reflect to kill them. You have to reflect their little beams back at them. This is a dead end. Let's see if he's not gonna bother. Seems like a lot of the dead end rooms and palaces so far with prizes have had either keys or red jars, so Vix doesn't really need either of those things, so I don't blame him for not checking out that dead end. That game, that was rude. Vix just took damage from that Wizrobe, and I disagree. I don't think he should have taken damage there. No one's farmed the drippers yet. I wonder if Vix is gonna maybe see what is on the drippers. So this could be randomized. Usually in the vanilla game, I think they're blue bots. There might be too many Wizrobe sprites on the screen for that to spawn. Okay, this is a jump and or fairy room. Vix cannot go through that room. He needs jump or fairy. I'm wondering if it's actually just the Wizrobes on the drippers. But yeah, nothing. There were too many sprites on that screen, so nothing was spawning. Home's gonna go into P3. Let's see how he does in here. Vix said no thank you. Home is up in attack level though, because he did manage to complete P2, so might help him out here. Okay. Vix just killing everything, I think, hoping for P-Bag drops, XP, anything to help him get a level here. Those Anerus have kind of crappy XP. Wizrobe's hitting super hard. Kind of everything's hitting super hard. Life 4 doesn't really seem to be great. Home probably wishing he had an extra heart container right about now. Vix once again looking for a 50-50 from that statue and getting nothing. He got a red iron knuckle earlier and did not want to fight it. Okay, Homewrecker has found the item room here in P3, so he's made it at least as far as Vix did. Let's see what he does here. He's also going to grab the P-Bag. He's very close to a level, so this is not going to quite get him there, but it's going to be pretty close. He's going to take the drop, see that it's a loop. Let's see. Let's see what he does here. And I'm not sure if he's on his last life or not. Oh, he got lucky. He got lucky blocking that, and then, you know, took some damage and died. Okay, he's not on his last life. Vic's still exploring in Palace 6, which is one of the longer palaces. It can definitely be trolly. Okay, home is up to 4-4-5. Attack 4, magic 4, life 5. See if life 5 is any more decent than, I mean, should be, definitely. Usually once you get into 5 levels, level 5, that's when the game starts getting, you know, playable-ish. Pretty much anything, I don't know, like the runners of this caliber can deal with levels less than 5. Runners of my caliber cannot. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, sorry, you're probably right. I probably am gonna get yelled at later. That's okay. Won't be the first time, won't be the last time. Okay, Vix is back into Palace 2 here, because I think he's just out of stuff to do. Like, okay, Home has found this room. He has no magic. Not sure, he might be on his last life now. This is awful. This is an awful enemy set in this room. Life 5 is definitely better than Life 4. Definitely. Like, by a pretty good amount. Home is going to have a hard time getting out of here because these heads are going to keep spawning both in front and behind him. Oh, nice job. And the boss is directly behind that horrible room. Oh my goodness. Wow, what did I roll? I feel bad for this. I don't usually feel bad for rolling trash, but this is bad. Okay. So Home doing a really nice job there, getting Rebanak off. Well, Rebanak is actually the horse. The blue iron knuckle is the boss. Rebanak is the horse. Home's not going back for that. He said no thank you. I think maybe he is going to go over to the east and see if he can make any progress there. Boy, sure would be nice to have Jumper Fairy. Too bad there aren't hints to tell them where to get those fetch quest items. Okay, Vix avoids death here in the Mago room. Okay, Home's gonna get Reflect. He's got 6 magic containers because he picked up the magic container as the dungeon prize in Palace 2, so he can come into Darunia now and he can get Reflect. And he has the child. They have the child from the item cave in the west. We found the child early. So he's gonna give this kid, this woman that can't ever keep track of her kids. Kid just runs off all the time, and you know, that's fine, whatever. I guess just go sit in a cave in the west. So he's got the Reflect spell now, which means he can not only beat the Palace 4 boss, which is Karak, the big giant Wizrobe in the red cloak, but he can also reflect those smaller Wizrobe beams back, and he can also Reflect is also useful for blocking certain projectiles from enemies, such as the Doom Knockers that throw those hammer-like things that go back and forth. It also blocks axes from red Dairas. It blocks the Lizalfos swings, the blue Lizalfos projectiles. Okay, Vix has found Helmet Head, so this is good. Hopefully he doesn't nope out of Palace 6 though, or Palace 2 before he finds that magic container, because he is going to need that. Vix taking an unfortunate death. You gotta be careful with Helmet Head. The little dots, those dots from him they do like twice as much damage as the dots from the floating heads. So like if you have to take damage from Helmet Head, you want to try and take them from those floating heads, and you want to try and not body Helmet Head or take damage from one of his dots. Vix doing a much better job this fight. Okay, that's Helmet Head down for Vix. Very good. Boy, they really just don't have a ton of options here other than go to Palace 6. Home's gonna go for it. And it seems like even at the slightly lower levels, it seems like this extra magic container, or the extra heart container, is helping Vix out quite a bit. Home's gonna kill these guys and see how much. 100 apiece is not terrible. Oh no, it's just the tin suits on the dripper and they're not worth anything. That is awful. Okay, Vix did get the magic container. Very good. So now he can go get Reflect if he wants to. He and Homer back on equal gem footing. I think Home has potentially forgotten that he just soft locked himself. This room requires fairy or jump. to complete. So, yeah, he just realized it. Vic's gonna walk it back and place his gem. Home is going to go into the Valley of Death, and I think we maybe have a volcano here, which is the Valley of Death might be our pass-through. Like, this might be required for them to see the rest of this continent. So here's a blue Lizalfo. Let's see. Yep, he's going to cast Reflect and just block those axes. He might try and kill this guy, but no, he's not going to. Okay. He might be at the point where, because this is a 6-gem seed and you're guaranteed to level up every time you place a gem, he might be at the point where he doesn't care about XP from enemies. He's trying to encounter skip here. These Valley of Death okay, Vix is also headed towards the Valley of Death. I think they both figured out that their progression lies in the southern east. So the Valley of Death encounters, the one that Vix was just in there and the one that Home skipped, like, those are brutal. Those are absolutely brutal. Hey, look, it's GP. Right in its vanilla spot. Home is gonna walk right away from that because you cannot lift the barrier until you have placed all 6 gems. Okay, so Vix did not get Reflect before he came through here. He's gonna do Dash Strat, which should work out fine, yeah, once he gets past that blue guy. He's also going to encounter skip. So, or well, try to. He's going to force an overworld encounter to skip the tile encounter, which is usually a good strat when you don't have fairy. When you have fairy, you can either fairy through those encounters or do a screen wrap trick called Fairy Feet, where you move yourself off the screen and then move 1 pixel in the opposite direction. Okay, they both stopped at GP, Great Palace, to reset their magic and lives to up an A there. Wow. Good thing they have the boots. What a seed this is. Look, Tyler, Z2R is good. These flags, like, I mean, you need to understand that both of these guys... Okay, Home finding another magic container in New Kasuto, in Granny's basement. So he's up to 7, which means he can get the spell in here. But, This is a good game. This is a good game. It is a fun rando. These flags can produce some trash. Like, they just... The options for having so many things 50-50, whether or not they might be vanilla, you know, like, there's just an opportunity for a lot of trash. But there are ways to make the flag sets very friendly. Let's see. Yep. You deserve... Great. See... Granny's nice. We gotta tell Homewrecker that Granny's a nice person. She wants to help. Homewrecker has a bias against Hylian grannies. So let's see what's down here. Is it going to be the 8th magic container? Oh, it's a pea bag. It's just some trash. Home's pretty happy about that. Vic's right on Home's tail, doing New Kasuto as well. Home's gonna refill his magic on the way out. And Home didn't stay in Palace 6 long enough to find that extra heart container. Also, so here's another fun thing about this flag set. They can start with as little as 3 hearts or as many as 8 hearts. But the maximum number of heart containers in this seed is randomized. So, oh, the desert tile had trash. Nice. So that one that Vix found in Palace 6 might be the only one there is. It might just be a 5-heart container steed. So this is an excellent use of dashed here, getting the heck out of New Kasuto really quickly because it is a long town. And you can do this magic trick here, where if you keep spamming the magic, once it gets to a certain point on the bar, it'll just keep refilling after you've refilled from a magic. It has to be in a town though, it doesn't work with red jars. Home, meanwhile, has found Palace 5, which is a disgusting palace, but is required. Vix found, I think, Sunken Peabag Cave. Yeah, oh, another heart container in Sunken Peabag Cave, so we get at least 6 of them. That was nice. That was the way Vix pinned that Blue Lizalfo up against the wall and went ham on him like that, and that was really nice combat strats there. This room that Home is in here is very difficult without fairy or jump. He could use dash here. He should use dash here. I think he forgets that he has it. But that is... yeah. Home, just go back and use dash. What are you doing, my dude? That is an extra long jump, and you have to basically have like 1 foot hanging off into the lava to even get it. But with the dash spell and enough of a wind-up, it's pretty easy. It's just those flying orange moas that drop fire are rude. Home is leaving Palace 5 as Vix is entering Palace 5. Okay, dude. They are really... oh, hey, it's Death Mountain. It is vanilla shuffled Death Mountain, because vanilla biomes are completely off in this flag set. So that is most definitely a vanilla shuffled Death Mountain, which means it looks vanilla, but it's not. The caves are all mixed up. It's the most fun Death Mountain. Vix remembers that he can do long jumps with dash. So he is doing that, which is probably a better choice than whatever Homewrecker's doing. Home's gonna check this bottom edge here. Okay, so Raft Tile looks like goes from west to east. And the bridge goes from west to east. So we are looking for a cave connector to Maze Island. We found one to Death Mountain. We're looking for another one to Maze Island. There's a palace on Maze Island. This is the 6th gem seed. Well, Palace 4 is on Maze Island, and we need to beat that. So Vix is going to make progress in Palace 5. Let's see how he fares here. These outdoor rooms that you see in palaces that are not part of the start screen for the palace, these are all community rooms that were added when version 4 of the randomizer was released in like December of 2021, I think. Home's going into Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain because I think he, since he doesn't remember, okay, he's not going into Vanilla. Yeah, don't ever go in there. Don't go in there unless you have to, dude. There are 2 items in Death Mountain, though. There is an item in Hammer Cave and an item under the rock, which you do need the hammer to break. And at this point, based on what we've seen, there's a somewhat decent chance that our fetch quest, at least one of our fetch quest items that they're gonna want is there. Okay, Vix has found Boss Guma, the boss of Palace 5. He's a beefy boy. And he has a really mean flail. Vix does not have any magic, and is pretty much immediately dead from trying to hug Guma. That's okay, this time he can at least cast shield. And, you know, he can heal himself for 1 bar. This boss fight in Palace 5 is kind of intimidating when you start the randomizer, but once you, like, work out the combat strats and the timing a little bit... Oh, Vix ads, dude, during the Goomba fight. This is Sag. But once you do work out the timing on the Goomba fight, it's not so bad. Especially if you can, like, once you get the hang of, like, when he backs up and shoots his flail at you. And, you know, if it comes down to it, there is a cheese strat where you can cheese him all the way over to the right side of the screen, kind of push him off the screen a little bit, and then his flail stops spawning. It just is slow because you have to wait for him to come back out in order to hit him. Is Home going back to Death Mountain? Home, please. Home, please. Yeah, he's gonna do it. And honestly, like, I hate it, but it's probably not a terrible choice. Like, this very well could be required. He can't do the rock. He doesn't have the hammer. That's a fun place for that bat to spawn, just in the middle of the screen like that. And see, there's the rock right there. Home can't do it. He is exploring every one of these caves because any of them can be Hammer Cave. Okay, so Vix has beaten Goomba. Not 100% sure if he placed the gem or not. I think he probably did because he's... Is he up a magic level? Maybe he hasn't. It's got refills. Okay, this is a dead end. Yeah, that's not the fake wall. So, Home might get lucky and find the God route through here. He could be in here for a while, looking for Hammer Cave. Yeah, there's nowhere else for you to go, dude. You can't nope out of this one. Vix is gonna search for the item here in Palace 5. Palace 5 is the longest palace in the game, so Vix could also be at this for a few minutes. Home has seen this already, so he's looped back to here. And there's a bunch of these caves in Death Mountain that are what we call 4-ways. They have 4 different options for entrances and exits, and they suck, quite frankly. Hey, it's Hammer Cave! You can tell it's Hammer Cave because it has those weird-looking pillars in the front. Vix has found a dead end, and he's not going to search for the item anymore, so he must have placed the gem in P5. He's about to get the bad news that he's not going to do that right now. Unfortunately, I think this might be our progression here. We're going to see what's in Hammer Cave. I kind of hope it's a vanilla hammer, so we have to go break the rock or something, TM. A trophy. Or maybe a medicine. We know either jump or fairy is going to be hard required, probably to get past that room in Palace 6 that caused them both to nope out. Okay, Home's in the prize room right now. We're about to see what it has. Vix is looking for something else to do on the east, I think, hoping that, oh boy. Okay. That's a magic jar. Interesting. So we might be looking at a required item in Palace 5. Hey, Vix just stepped on a forest tile and was not able, he did not get an encounter. So that means there's something hidden under the forest tile. It could be, well, no, it can't be a palace. We've seen all our palaces and we know Palace 4 is on. So it's probably nothing under there. It's not a town, it's not a palace. We're not going to be concerned about that. But the same hammer that breaks rocks also cuts down trees because it's a multitasking tool. Okay, Vix is doing the the Death Mountain run here, he's going to be extremely disappointed. Homewrecker not get the item out of Palace 1? He must not have, because he's back here. Finally remembering that he has the dash spell. Holy crap. Okay, Vix has found a different route through. He wants to be just, you know, one up there, but has found his way down to the bottom of this vanilla shuffled Death Mountain. He's going to go back from where he came. Oh, yeah, that's right. Nobody got the item out of Palace 1 because it's behind this horrible room. Holmes, he's gonna go. Is he gonna go for it? He's gonna die. Okay, I think I remember seeing a bird room from home. I think Vix has found some weird route through here. Okay. Vix is going to continue through Death Mountain looking for Hammer Cave. Not sure where Homewrecker is headed. If he wants Palace 5, he's going to have to go back through that Valley of Death, through the volcano. No, he's going to go back into Palace 6. Not sure if there was another path for him to follow in here. This is the palace where the that jump fairy room is at. Let's see. Home thinks maybe there's a path that he didn't follow in here. Yeah, Vix is finding everything except for the route to Hammer Cave. Okay, so Home's gonna get that heart container. So there definitely was a path he didn't follow. Probably... Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. Spell is orange moas. This is a seed. Vanilla Shuffle DM file. So vanilla, there's no vanilla options in this flag set, but there can still be the option for vanilla shuffled, which means it looks vanilla, but it's all mixed up, which is, you know, the best Death Mountain. Yeah, Home definitely had a better route through here to find Hammer Cave. Okay, see, we saw Vix just use the bottom, like go through the bottom of that room and break those blocks to get to the elevator. Home did it the harder way, which is let's knock the blue iron knuckle down the hole, which is fine. Vix, I think, is probably pretty turned around in here at this point. It looks like he possibly has been through that room already. Yeah. Yeah, he's just kind of going in circles right now. Home finding that dead-end room, doesn't care what's at the end of it. Okay, Vix is going to try a different exit out of this four-way and hope that it puts him out somewhere where he can actually make progression. Just going to check this up cave. So, yeah, either there's a hard required item in Palace 5, or the seed that I promised was 98% beatable is not, and I lied. I think I haven't been paying close enough attention to Home's route in this palace to know for sure if this is his last option, this down elevator. Other than that, ferry, jump room. But he did not check that last elevator, so maybe he's been here before and just didn't take this left path. Vix is going to try this room in Palace 1 again. He's going to hope that he doesn't have to go back to 5. He never found Hammer Cave. I think he just said screw you to Death Mountain. I don't blame him. Death Mountain's horrible, and no one should go there unless they absolutely have to. So he's going to try the platform room here in P1 again and see if he can cheese it. There is a strat where you can cheese, like, you could stand at the very edge of the bridge and not break the block, and if you jump fast enough and land right, you can jump both platforms without ever breaking any blocks on the crumble bridge. So Vix almost had it last time. We'll see. We'll see what he can do this time. Home's still exploring in Palace 6. Pretty sure this is a dead-end room. Nope, that was not it. Oh, he almost had it. Okay, Home does get the 50-50 jar there, so he's going to get a full magic refill from the red jar. Not sure what decision Vix is going to make here, if he's going to... He might go into Palace 3. I think Homewrecker beat Palace 3, Vix has not. Or no, Homewrecker did not beat Palace 3. Homewrecker got the Iron Knuckle off his horse and died promptly. It looks like Vix is looking for Palace 3 though, so maybe now that he has some more life levels, some extra hearts, he might attempt that instead. Home is trying to use Dash. Dash is a great spell to get through some of these Crumble Bridge rooms, but it doesn't, like, with the red Iron Knuckles sometimes, it, like, they keep up with you, and without downstab to bonk over their heads, it can be a thing to try and, like, use Dash, because they'll just go as fast as you do, and it's not always fun. Okay. Home still thinks he has ways to go in Palace 6 that aren't blocked by Fairy or Jump, so let's see if he's right about that. Magnet! Mag, I'm sorry, I should have pinged you, and I didn't. That's my bad. Mag, this seat is brutal. I don't know if you just got here, but they asked me to roll it for them, and I think they're probably gonna regret that. It's awful. This is a trash seed. I feel bad about it. Okay, Vix, I'm pretty sure, is looking for Palace 3. You know, islands are easy to get lost in. Oh, Home getting booped. Home getting booped by the fire. Yes, this is great entertainment. I mean, I rolled this seed for chat. You know, screw these runners. They're good. They'll beat it eventually. I rolled this seed for chat. Nissan doesn't need to sleep tonight. Okay, Vix, where are you going? Oh, also, where's Homewrecker go? Homewrecker's given up on Palace 6, which I think is probably the right call. I think progression in Palace 6 is definitely locked behind either jump or fairy. Home's gonna take a pass-through. I don't like this. I think this is not a good decision. We know where our progression is in the east, and it's down through the volcano. So I'm not sure why he's doing this. Okay, Vix is going to finally go back to Jerunia and get his reflect spell. Okay. I think this is what Home was looking for here. Sunken Peabag Cave. It's trash. It's not progression in any way, shape, or form. Pretty sure Vix is already... Well, actually, maybe did Vix find this? Maybe not. I'm pretty sure Vix found this. Like, he found both. Both of the overworld item caves. Yeah. Yeah, because he did the nice combat strats where he pinned the Lizzie up against the wall. Home, please. Okay, so yeah, now they're both caught up on... Okay, not trash. Heart containers aren't trash in this seed because enemies are a little brutal. It was a decent use of the dash spell there. Blue Lizalfos, we saw Vix kill that one. It was 300 XP. That's okay. It seems high, but for Blue Lizalfos, not that high. Like, they can be up to 1,000 XP in the randomizer, so that's actually on the low side for a blue guy. Okay, Home is into Palace 5, and since we've seen pretty much everything from both runners, you know, Vix has not gone into, or hasn't explored Palace 3 like Homewrecker has, and he hasn't done Hammer Cave like Homewrecker has, but he has been in here. Noped out before he found the item. I'm pretty sure this is going to give us some kind of progression. At least I really hope it gives us some kind of progression. Because if it does... Okay, let's see if Home remembers that the dash spell is his friend in this instance. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wrecker. So, this is a giant, I think it's like a it's a huge jump. It's like a 4-tile jump. Really like to have jump or fairy for a room like that, but with the dash spell and, you know, enough of a wind up there, you can definitely make that jump much easier, as we saw Home do this time and, you know, Vix do the first time. So I did vet this seed in the seed reader before I gave it to them, and I told them that I was 98% sure it was beatable. Now, I knew it was a little brutal, but I didn't realize that, like, how brutal it is. They should be able to finish it, though. You know, we'll see. I forget what the item is in P5. I looked at a lot of seeds before I found one to give them. So, we'll see. Pretty sure neither one of them is ever going to let me roll a seed for him again, though, which is fine. I shouldn't be allowed. I'm going to ban myself. Home doing a good job of not... a decent job of not getting booped in this room. Yep. Oh no! Oh no! Home, please! Okay, Vix is back in this Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain. He's gonna try and find Hammer Cave. Because he's trying to avoid going into Palace 5 to dig that item out, I think. Which I don't blame him. You know, Palace 5 can be a lot of rooms. Yeah, that's a really good question, Zen. At this point, it's probably anyone's guess. We could definitely ask him if you want to do an interview after this is over. Vix is back on this journey through. So this Death Mountain, it looks vanilla. It's not. It's vanilla shuffled, which is a setting where the map looks vanilla, but all of the caves and rooms and encounters and stuff can be all mixed up. So it's good times. And we're still missing a cave connector, which takes us to Maze Island, where there's a required palace. You know, we've seen there are four overworld. Oh, yay! Vix found Hammer Cave. He's going to be super disappointed. I bet he thinks this is progression. He's going to be really disappointed when he gets down there and it's just a red jar. Oh, Cody, I rolled a super trash seed for them. It's, you know, palaces are on their vanilla continents. Vanilla shuffled Death Mountain. The item in Palace 1 is locked behind a platform room with a crumble bridge that it routes you in from the right and is really, really hard to do without jump or fairy, which are both locked behind fetch quest items that we don't get hints for, and we haven't found yet. Estimate hour 30. I mean, it could have been. It could have been. Homewrecker should have rolled his own seed. I blame him. This is his fault. So Homewrecker has not found Guma yet in Palace 5. Oh, this is a gross room with this Hammer Bro here on the bridge. He's gonna try dash strats. Okay, he's gonna. Vix says, "Screw you, Red Jar. My magic is full." Okay, Home has made it through the horrible room, which is the second. That's a duplicate. We've already seen a room like that in this palace. To find, he's not even going for Guma. He says, "Screw it. I am gonna go get Fairy and Downstab and make the game playable," and I do not blame him one bit. Okay, progression in Palace 5. You love to see it. So right now, Holmes just has to remember where Mito is, which is the town where there's a bunch of white buildings. And he'll find it eventually. This might be it. I think it was in the middle of the graveyard, yeah. He's so excited, finally, to get his downstab and his fairy spell. He's making a break for it. He's like, "Dash me, baby." Yeah, you can't do it. Yeah. Unfortunately, you cannot cheese downstab with the dash spell. But he can get fairy now, at least. Vix has found Maze Island. Okay. Okay. So there's 2 item checks on Maze Island, and a palace, which we know is Palace 4, which Vix can complete. Okay, here's one of the items. This is where the vanilla child is, usually in the vanilla game. We have a hammer. So, hey, you know, maybe just for ultimate trash, if they want jump, they have to go back to, you know, Death Mountain to get it from the rock. No, we won't wish that on them. Hey, Homewrecker's first to downstab at an hour 18. Game playable. Look, Doc, they could have rolled their own seed. They asked me to do it, and all they said was make sure that it's beatable. And I did that. I think I'm 98% certain this seed is beatable. Other than that, I never promised that it wasn't going to be trash. Also, happy birthday, Doc. Okay. Homewrecker, I think, is going to head back into Palace 3. Oh no, he's going to go into 1. He's going to see what this item is in 1. He must want jump, I guess. I'm not really sure what he... Oh, magic container. He's going to see if this is the 8th magic container. That's right, magic container requirements are on. No, Nissan, we didn't. I swear, it's beatable. I swear. It's not really Doc's birthday. I'm sorry, I'm meaning on Doc. It was his birthday a couple months ago. Why? Okay. I guess use fairy in here and then die to get your magic back? Meanwhile, I think Vix is still looking for... Okay, just found the second item here on Maze Island, and it's the trophy. So Vix has found progression on Maze Island. He can get jump, which doesn't give him the fairy spell, but it does at least give him downstab, which is going to make this game... So once you get downstab, this game goes from brutal in terms of the enemies and combat to pretty tame. You know, because if you don't want to actually fight something, you can just downstab its head and walk on by it. I think we're going to see Vix clear this out completely. Yep, he's gonna go into Palace 4. He's got Reflect, he's got the any key, he's got the glove to break any blocks, so he can... Okay, we're finally, an hour and 20 in, we're gonna see what the item is in Palace 1. Is this our 8th magic container? No, Tofile. No one's gotten upstab yet. So Vix just got the trophy that gets him jump. Home just got the medicine that gets him fairy. Home did get downstab, but neither one of... So Vix has not turned in the trophy for jump, and Home hasn't been back to the east yet. I don't imagine either one of them will skip upstab, though. So, hey, more Palace, not an immediate item room. You love to see it. Vix up to attack 5 now. It's a dead end for Home. He's going to have to go out to the left. Okay, so now that Home has downstab, he can jackhammer right over those blue iron knuckleheads. Here's the item room. Here's the item room. Do we have our 8th magic jar? We have our 8th... Wow! That magic jar was locked behind that platform room. Wow! What a seed. Hello, Ty. Welcome on in. Beer, have you considered not being an embarrassment? Okay, so... Home is... essentially, I mean, so we're in no mode. Home, I think, knows at this point that he's looking for the last connector cave to find Palace 4 on Maze Island, but other than that, he's in connector go mode. He doesn't need any more items. He's got all the items he needs. Unless he really wants jump. Then he can, you know, dig out the items on Maze Island and go get it. I think he probably will forego that. Instead, he's going to go back into Palace 3 and finish this off. Vix is probably going to up an A out of here, and I'm kind of sad about that because I missed the cave that took him to Maze Island. I'm not sure exactly where that was. But that's okay. Home will find it eventually, TM. Certainly. It was on DM. I was afraid of that, Tofile. Wow, I really rolled a tread. This is great. This seed is great. Tiverius37, you should stop watching right now and play this seed later at some point, TM. Okay, here's the item. So, remember earlier when I said that these outdoor rooms are always dead ends unless there's a mini boss? Here's a mini boss. So it looks like we're gonna get a Rebo shark! This is, so, the randomizer does this weird sprite corruption thing where sometimes Rebonet can ride on Karok and it just looks like Rebo Shark, so Rebo Shark is great. Yeah, Mirai should definitely, I don't know if Mirai will like this seed. Vix, please, with the ads, my dude. Please. Please. I mean, even if this is a raft, like this is not a necessary item. Whatever he's getting in here might be a heart container if we get any more of those. We know it's not the magic jar. But you know, there's no way for him to know that. Nissan, I think this is a conspiracy. Vix did this on purpose. Okay, Home's gonna have a much easier time in this route. Well, he's not actually. He could have if he didn't use all his magic, but instead, he at least has downstab now. Instead, he's gonna have to go through this way again because he can't just ferry across that gap because he has no magic. But that's not so bad. He's on life 5 now with 6 hearts, so this should be a much easier fight. Okay, Vix is back, and looks like it was a heart container. He's up to 7 hearts now, so it looks like it was a heart container in Palace 4, which is not a terrible thing. Home is doing the cheese strat here, where you get this Iron Knuckle all the way over to the left side of the screen and then just downstab his head. This is much easier than trying to fight him the regular way. Sometimes a little slower depending on your attack level, but much, much easier. Man, there's a lot of these Rawhead, like Sine Wave Rawhead, Iron Knuckle block bridge rooms. That's disgusting. Those rooms are gross. Oh, so another fun new, this is a kind of a new, like even post version 4, like version 4.3 new, and here we're about to see it right here. Oh no, this is a dead end. Okay. Vix also thought this was the boss. There's now a harder Karok setting, which Karok, the boss of Palace 4, is usually like the easiest boss in the game because basically you just go into the right corner and cast Reflect and kneel down and shoot all of his beams back at him. Now there is a hard Karok flag that is set for on. It's not set for 50-50. We are guaranteed to see hard Karok, or harder Karok. Helm's gonna pick up Thunder here in Old Pseudo now that he has all of the magic jars in the entire game. But yeah, Karok can now shoot his beams on the ground or slightly off the ground or in a sine wave. So this is going to be fun. Let's see. So we've got some up. We've got the sine wave. So this makes the fight a lot more interesting than just kneel in the corner. On Vix's life levels with shield, still a pretty easy fight. And it's still a good strat to stand in that corner because it greatly, especially that right corner, it greatly lessens the chance that he's going to spawn on top of you. Okay, so Vix is now up to a really comfortable attack 5, magic 6, life 6. He's got to place, what, 2 more gems? 3 more gems? Yeah, so he's gonna end on pretty high levels. Like, honestly, he could take these levels into GP right now and probably be fine. Home's still on 4, 5, 6. His levels aren't quite as up there. I think Vix has had more 500 P bags than Home has. So Vix is going to get jump, which will enable him to get down stab, which will make the game playable for him. Now he has not gotten the medicine out of Palace 5, so he can't get Fairy. Fairy might not be required. We don't know. There are the potential for several different versions of Fairy block rooms in Great Palace, though, so it's usually a pretty safe bet that it's going to be required. Okay, Home is back in Palace 5 with his down stab and his thunder and, you know, all of his levels. Hopefully, we'll be able to find Guma and clear this out. Okay, he's not going to Fairy across here. He is going to use dash strats again. Okay, now that Vix has jump, he is going to take himself back into Palace 1 to that horrible platform room and grab his last magic container of the game. Yes, Tofile, the seed reader tells you like what's everywhere. It shows you, so it's not even really a seed reader. It's Z2 Edit, which you can use to make your own rooms and Plando seeds. But you can also load seeds up in there to make sure they're beatable. And it will tell you everything that's everywhere. It's just not always super intuitive to use. Like, it'll tell you all the palace rooms, but you have to know how to use it to show what order they're in, because it won't show you them in the order they appear in the palace. But it does show you what's in every item cave, what's in every palace item room, and if you know how to use it, it will show you how the palaces connect. And it will show you the overworld maps, where the cave, like what are the biomes, where are the caves, that kind of thing. And it's come in handy more than once. We don't get unbeatable seeds super often in this game, but with this flag set, it is definitely more possible than normal, just because with all the 50-50 options there, it can do some really weird stuff. Okay, so we saw Home use Fairy through that platform room. Vic showed us the other way with Jump. Ohio pizza is confusing to you, Doc? Do they have, like, different pizza than what you have in California? Nissan, man, you're the real hero of Hyrule, dude. Like, that's insane. Shoutouts to Nissan for putting on this amazing marathon run for us to all watch. All these fun games and speed runs and people. This has been great. Okay, Home has found Guma. Vix is on his way to Magic Jar percent. Item room for Vix. Yay! Game is playable. I wonder if we're ever going to see Vix go back into Palace 5, or if he's just going to YOLO GP without Fairy. Now, he does have a bit of a leg up on Homewrecker, both in terms of gems placed and in terms of knowledge, because he knows where the Maze Island connector is. You know, we've got four connectors total, 4 overworld connectors in the game, and that's always how it is, even in the randomized version. 2 caves, 1 bridge, 1 raft tile. We're never seeing the raft, I don't think. We already know where it goes. There's 1 raft tile there where Vix is at on the west, and we saw one on the east earlier. Home, what is this Guma fight, my guy? Okay, Vix is gonna pick up down stab here. He can't get Fairy because he doesn't have the medicine. And then we've seen the bridge as well. The bridge also goes to the east from the west. We have one connector cave that gets us to Death Mountain from the east, and then a second connector cave that gets us to Maze Island from Death Mountain. So these are some top quality connectors today. Connectors are set in this flag set at anything goes, which means they can connect to anywhere. We could have 3 connectors on Maze Island. We could have all 4 connectors in the west. You know, it could literally be anything. Guma down, gem placed for home. Good, so he is on... That puts him at 466 for levels. Meanwhile, Vix is going to take his down stab into Palace 3 and clear this out. Okay. Home is back in Death Mountain, and I think he knows, so he knows for sure he needs a cave. He knows that he needs the cave connector. And I think he is also reasonably sure that it's in here. Like, I think he's done a pretty thorough job of exploring both Eastern and Western Overworld. So he's pretty sure that he needs to come in here and find a cave to take him to the maze. Home's just going to check all of these caves before committing to a route through here, hoping that one of them just shoots him out into the maze. Meanwhile, Vic should make quick work of these palaces now with dash and downstab. And like once you hit Magic 6 with 8 jars, stuff gets pretty cheap. So pretty cheap and a lot easier to cast. He's just gonna go for it with dash. I don't blame him. He probably feels a little bit behind with how long it took him to get downstab and, you know, jump or fairy. So Vic's doing a really nice job with dash there to get across that gap. He made it look easy. It's not as easy as he made it look. You have to time that jump exactly right, otherwise you bonk your head on the ceiling and end up in the lava. Would I call DM Juicetown? I wouldn't call anything Juicetown, Tofile. I'm not a heathen. Okay, Vic's not even bothering to cheese Rebo because he's on attack 5 now. So he just fought him the regular way. 3 hits to the face and he's just done. Nissan will call Death Mountain Juicetown. Home's still in here looking for this cave. I'm pretty sure he knows it's in here. I don't think we're gonna see him leave here until he finds his way to the maze. Okay, that's all the dungeons. So Vix only has to clear out Palace 6, and then he'll be ready to go into GP. He's placed 5 gems. Grabbing Thunder now that he has all his magic jars. Home needs to decide, okay, Home's gonna take the upper cave. Oh, and I bet, okay, Vix is also gonna go into Gerunia here and pick up Upstab, which is a very good play. You know, there is a chance there's one room in GP that could be hard upstab blocked, but oh, he's going for the swag jump. Let's see if he can hit the swag jump. Nope, he's gonna give up after 3 times. That's okay. It's like frame perfect and really hard to, I don't know. There's some people that make it look easy, but every time I get it, it's by accident. But yeah, Vix is gonna grab Upstab. There's, like I was saying, there's one room that is hard Upstab required in GP. There are other rooms that can be cheesed, where you can clip through blocks and do some fancy stuff, but it's just easier to get Upstab, honestly. And it comes in handy for more than just breaking blocks. Like sometimes with those flying enemies, it's really nice to have upstab. Home is continuing to search for this connector here in GP. Or in Death Mountain. I'm so excited for Vix to be almost done that I said GP instead. I mean, a little bit, Tyler. He just doesn't have. He's looking for this continental connector, this cave, and Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain is gross. So. But with Jump, Vix can now get through this room in Palace 6 that I think is the block here, that room that we've seen that has the 2 high walls on each side and the bridge. So it's either fairy or jump blocked. You cannot cheese it with dash. Home pretty thoroughly explored Palace 6 looking for any way to go that wasn't that way and didn't find anything. Man, this connector cave must be in a really dumb spot. It's all these 4-ways. 4-ways are gross. Oh, okay, there we go. Home has found his way to Maze Island. I'm sure he's extremely happy about this. I'm interested to see here if he even bothers going for any items or if he's just gonna go straight. Yeah, he's gonna go straight for the palace. So this is Home's official go mode. Vix may or may not be in go mode. There might be fairy required rooms in GP. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna place this gem in Palace 6 when he finds the boss and go for it into GP and hope that there's no fairy required rooms. But he might have to go back into Palace 5 and dig that medicine out to get fairy. So fairy's in Mito. Spells are vanilla, but the medicine to get fairy was in Palace 5. So, kind of gross. Like, very deep in Palace 5. So, fairy's where it normally is in the vanilla game, but the item to get it was not, for sure. Definitely not where it normally was. Okay, so Vix has found his way to Barbara Streisand. He's gonna do, the upstab strats. He takes some fireballs to the face. Meanwhile, Home has found his way into Palace 4. And he does not. So when Vix came in here, he didn't have that 8th magic jar, and he spent a decent amount of time looking for both item and boss. Home only cares about the boss. He's in go mode, so he does not care about finding any. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't turn down another heart container, but you know, it's not necessary. Vix with more. Barb is still a little beefy on attack 5. This is going to be interesting to see. You know, what GP is like given that. Okay, this is 6. Oh, it's Vix burning the gem. Vix burning the gem. Not even gonna take that last level. What a freaking gamer. This is spicy. Cat, how much would it suck if Vix walks into GP and the first room is fairy blocked? Home is having a time here with these iron knuckles flanking him on both sides. See, Vix never got the fairy spell because no medicine, so he has to encounter skip here. Which does cost a little bit of time. It's much faster to cast fairy and either fairy your way through the rooms or just fairy feet and skip them all together. Home is trapped here by some floating heads. He is on almost zombie strats. Hey, barrier up. Barrier up, sub 2. We are in GP, and we don't get a fairy block room, but we do get an immediate spicy chicken. Okay. Revo Shark, so Home's gonna grab an extra heart container here. He's not gonna hate it, you know? I mean, nobody hates life heading into GP. He is gonna take a shot to the ass there, though, and die immediately after getting Revo off his shark. But that's fine, because he can come in here and cheese it now if he wants to. So Vic's making really good use of dash here. Super helpful to sneak in under those heckin' chickens when they want to jump on you. The Foca. Look, dog, I qualified the statement. I qualified it. No one hates life when you're heading into GP. How often do you do that, IRL? And hey, Home didn't have ads on, so we actually get to see the heart container pickup here in Palace 4. Vic sees a room to the left, and with 2 fire breathing Nehru, and is like, no, we'll try these. So this is not super true anymore since version 4 of the randomizer, but generally your bosses are going to be to the right in palaces and your items are going to be to the left. Since version 4 came out, it is vastly more possible to have to go left in order to go right to find a boss, and to go right to go left to find an item. But just from the way that the rooms are both programmed and like where you go in, wow, Vic is glad he has jump right now to get through this emoji room. But yeah, it just is how, like in the vanilla game, all of the item rooms are to the left in palaces and all of the bosses are to the right. So that was the same way in the randomizer for a long time until version 4. Let's see, Vix is gonna steal jump and life to get past this room with these blue guys are heckin' brutal. Home still has not found Karak. I'm pretty sure he's on the path to Karak. And we haven't hit a fairy block yet, so far, Vix's gamble hasn't come back to bite him. It's another emoji room. Home, this is a dead end, my dude. What are you doing? Yeah. Okay, and here's Thunderbird. So Vix is gonna go ahead and fight Thunderbird. He's gonna have to take a death, so he has the magic. But Thunderbird may or may not be required in this flag set. There was a bunch of divergence when Vix first came into this dungeon, so I mean, he could have just missed Dark Link immediately, like to the left somewhere, but not actually to the left because you have to enter Dark Link's room from the left, which means you'd be going to the right. But he's going to take a chance and fight T-Bird anyways, which, you know, with his levels and his skill set, he's got a nice pendulum strat going here where he's keeping T-Bird moving in a consistent pendulum pattern, resetting him here by walking all the way over towards the right side of the screen. But then he kind of, Thunderbird, when you get him in the pendulum like this, he'll dip down, so you can get, you know, 2, 3, sometimes 4 hits on him when he's in the middle of the platform. Vic's doing a good job here. Sometimes in palaces that are pink, red, or orange with this background and the fireballs, it can be really difficult to see once he starts shooting double fireballs, like where they're actually landing. So that was a nice T-Bird fight from Vix on attack 5. Hey, look! I mean, it wasn't an upstab block room, but Vic's definitely making use of upstab in here. So this is what we call a waffles and syrup room, which is the waffles over the lava. Vix just, you know, got so excited he was like, I need to take a bath. Oh, that's a game over. That's too bad. Home's gonna ferry out of this room in P4. Home's still looking for Karak. Home's just gonna reset. Start. Sometimes that's just the best option when you get too turned around, or you loop too many times, or hit too many dead ends, or you just don't want to walk it back for too long. Sometimes you just have to up an A. This is a room. Home's got pin suits coming out of the floor here. He wants to go up and to the right. Okay. Vix making it through this emoji room. Okay, Home has found Karak. He's gonna shield up because harder Karak fight means that it's not just Neil and Cheese in the corner anymore. Home also getting a little bodied by some of these, especially the sine wave beams, but you know, 7 heart containers, life 6, and shield, not a problem. Okay. Wow, that Palace 4 was kind of a troll. So that is now 5 gems placed for Mr. Wrecker. He's got to finish off Palace 6. And he should probably get upstab. Not sure if he will, but he definitely should. And okay, he is searching Maze Island for item. Home, please. Home, please. Do you want the 8th heart container? Why? Why are you doing this? Just up an A. Okay, Vix is back in this chicken and waffles room. So one fun thing about starting with 2 lives is that if you get a really like deeply buried Thunderbird in GP and Dark Link is behind Thunderbird, you have to get back there on 2 lives when you die, which I mean they've got 7 heart containers and they've got shield. Life unfortunately only heals for 1 bar, which is not super helpful. Home must really want that 8th magic jar, or maybe he does want jump. Maybe he that seems kind of silly, but maybe he is hoping trophy is in here, which we know it is. But he hasn't found either item yet. Okay, here is the first item for Home, which is going to be... This is Vanilla Child Cave, and that's the hammer, which is completely worthless in this seed. Okay, so Vix has made it back to T-Bird, the T-Bird room. He's doing pretty good on life and magic. See if he can make it through chicken and waffles here. Or, well, waffles and syrup. There is chicken in here, which makes it a little spicier. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, he's gonna free the bubble. Okay, that was a nice down stab off that Blue Chicken Knight's head there. Much better job in this room, this time by Vix. Okay, so Home is gonna grab upstab. He's just looking for Gerunia. Meanwhile, Vix is going to continue on this path and hope he runs into Darklink. Oh! Darklink right down the elevator! Get your GGs in chat for one Mr. VixRyder. There's 0 chance he doesn't cheese this fight, which is just walk to the left, I mean, get stabbed in the ass, walk to the left, and then stab Link in his face and ankles. Excellent. Beatable seed achieved. So Vix finishing an hour 53, 26-ish, just as 27, just as Home gets his upstab. I don't think Home's gonna finish this, and I don't blame him. This seed was brutal. GG's Vix and GG's Home. Well done. We'll see if they want to come in and say a quick word before we let Nissan get some sleep tonight. Vix, GG's.
Hello.
What are the chances that I'm actually? Let me wait till Home gets here. Let me wait till Home gets here before I ask whether you guys are gonna let me roll seeds for you ever again.
No, the answer is never again. Or at least with maybe again, but with you know,
With a different flag set?
logical connectors.
You didn't like that Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain?
We're not going to talk about that. The fact that it was required
GG's. Made it great. Chat loved it. They thought it was wonderful.
Okay, dude. Roy, I cannot believe you rolled this garbage. What did you... We were shooting for an hour and a half, not 2 hours, Royale. Please.
Look, you guys
You
know
know
what
what?
you signed up for when you asked
put
me
on
to
a
roll
show.
this seed.
That was the most important thing. We put on a show.
This was for content.
Content.
We're
Yes.
helping Nissan with his content and his partner push. This is very good content. Chat loved it, especially Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain. And
Which was not even supposed to happen. Oh my god.
and you didn't. There's a separate flag for.
Yes, I know. I understand.
You have it set for vanilla, but
That-
you have it set for
I-
no vanilla, but not no vanilla and no vanilla shuffled.
That's not... Well, we can talk about that later. I actually don't, but
Oh, did I use the wrong flag set? My bad.
I think so.
That just makes it better. It's the same one you used last night. I copied it from your chat directly.
Oh, man. Oh my gosh.
How about the required 8th magic jar in Palace 1 locked behind the bad platform?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting the magic jar requirements to be on because this always seems to roll out of this flag set. It's great. I hate it.
At least you guys got good boots with islands.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nice. Thank God.
Yeah, for all the good that did.
And starting glove.
Yeah, because that
Did we
really
start
helped
with the glove, or was
immediately.
that-
No, we started with the glove.
Yeah, starting
Okay.
glove and candle and cross, I think.
Yes, we got all these nice items to start with that did F all for us.
Okay, Home, I have a question.
Yes.
Where was the medicine?
P5.
Was it in P5? I left too early.
It was very deep in P5.
It was very,
dumb.
very, very deep.
It was
Yeah.
I
dumb.
only got there too. It was right behind a room that was a crumble bridge with a bunch of crap on it, and I dashed and prayed and got through it.
No, I finished
Yeah,
this
it
one
was-
ferryless.
It was a crumble bridge with a hammer bro and a red iron knuckle. And those red iron knuckles keep up with you when you
Yeah.
dash, so that made it
Mhm.
extra fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very Monka-esque. And then we made it. So wait, what, you finished this with jump then?
Yep.
And not fairy? Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah, Vix never went back into P. He beat P5, looked for the item for a little bit, and then said, "Screw this, I'm out."
I still
And-
had a ton left, and as I kept checking things off, I had less left, and I'm like, oh no, I'm in trouble, because I was thinking that medicine was going to be under the rock in Death Mountain, and I had no idea how to get back to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember my first trip into Death Mountain that I actually went in. I found Hammer Cave and then save and quit out. So eventually
only
went back.
The only two items I didn't get were the item out of P5, which was the medicine, and whatever was under with the rock had to be the last heart container.
Yeah, yeah. What a good
Wait,
seed.
so where's the raft and the trophy?
Oh wait, there
What
was
is
the
that
no
on
trophy?
Maze Island?
The trophy's on Maze Island.
Trophy
One of
was on
them's
Maze
on Maze
Island.
Island.
Okay, so then the
Yeah.
raft had to be under the rock.
Raft,
which
I
means
think, is under the rock.
we had
Yeah,
a
I
max
think
of
the-
7 heart containers
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
One of these
7
two
hearts
things
only.
was under the rock for sure. Okay.
Yeah, well, the Vix got the trophy. Trophy's on Maze Island.
Yep. As was the hammer.
The very, very useful hammer. This seed had a bunch of great things. Magic container requirements, Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain, the connector cave to Maze Island in Vanilla Shuffle Death Mountain, the bad
Yeah,
platform
no hints
in
for anything.
P1. No hints ever. At least you got 7 hearts. Oh, two live start. That's always fun.
Yeah, this was just a bad combination. This is somehow a good assortment of items that turned into a bad combination of literally everything else. We started with great things, and the rest of the seed was just garbage. Make this 1 crystal less or 2, and it's suddenly not horrible. But oh my gosh.
Yeah. 4 or 5 gems would have been easier for
And
sure.
I think this was also the racing restream debut of Harder Karok fight.
Yeah, that might be true. I'm not sure that.
That's the first time I
Yeah.
fought that guy today,
Yeah.
actually. That was fun.
It was fun. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I think it makes the fight a lot more interesting, both to play and to watch.
That guy's shots move around faster than I was expecting. So that was really cool. Oh, what else can I grief about on this seed? I don't think there's anything else. I think we've said it all.
I think so too, and I think we need to let Nissan
Yeah,
get some
let's-
sleep.
I actually
think so,
I
yeah.
actually unmuted myself like the first time today because I've just been sitting here enjoying everything. So I just wanted to take this moment as well to thank you, Homewrecker, is like for the last 4 hours of this marathon. For I think it's actually more at this point. 4.5.
I'm sure I've been live for 5 hours, but
Yeah,
that's been with downtime and stuff too. So,
but
yeah, no problem. Thank you for inviting me.
No, seriously, like, you, Real and Vix, this has been amazing to have you guys doing Zelda 2 randomizer for the marathon.